Hello students! Welcome to today's lesson on summary writing. Summarization forms part of our daily conversations. Whenever we talk about an event or an experience, we try to say the most important parts. Likewise, when someone tells us a story, we usually retain the most useful parts and ignore the less important details, and we tend to retell the story in the most concise way. At the end of today's lesson, you should be able to identify the features of a summary, master some skills to write a good summary, structure your summary properly. A summary is a recollection of the main ideas of a text in the most accurate and concise way using your own words, and it is a shortened version of a larger text. What are the features of a good summary? When writing a summary, you should be concise, objective, and accurate. If you want to write concisely, you should compress crucial information and avoid elaboration and superfluous details. A good summary is also objective. Sticking to facts is of key importance. A summary does not involve your opinions, and hence it is objective. It is also important to be accurate while writing a summary. Your summary should truthfully depict the original text. Before writing your summary, you need to read your text thoroughly to identify the main points being conveyed. It is advisable to conduct your reading in 3 stages. First, scan the text to grasp the gist of the passage. Secondly, carry out an in-depth reading of the text to identify the main ideas. Use a pencil to underline the main ideas. It is crucial that you underline core points, leaving aside exemplification details. You can also annotate the text by writing down synonyms of keywords that you have identified in the passage. Lastly, conduct a last reading of the text to ensure that you have not missed any important ideas. Let us now consider an extract from a passage. Plastic was hailed as a wonder product when it was invented, but nowadays we realize there are problems associated with it. Probably the main problem until recent years was the lack of awareness about the threats it posed to our planet, threats which were unexplored because of plastic's low cost, convenience, and durability. Furthermore, there was a lack of knowledge of just how many products would be made of plastic. Who would have thought that chewing gum, paper clips, light bulbs, and some so-called paper cups contained plastic? Pay attention to the underlined key ideas. Since a summary should be written in your own words, you should try and define some of the terms in the text. Have a look at the synonyms of some important terms in the extract on the right. Was hailed means was praised for or was renowned for. Problems can be defined as drawbacks or loopholes. Main problem refers to a serious issue or a major drawback. Lack of awareness means having limited knowledge of something. The synonym for threats is hazards. Low cost means cheap. Convenience means availability, or it can refer to the practical use of something. And another term for durability is longevity. We are now ready to draft the summary of this paragraph. But to do so successfully, we must be familiar with the key techniques for summary writing. Let us find out how we can write a good summary. The opening sentence of your summary should precisely refer to the passage and the main topic of the text. For example, in the passage that we have just seen, the author discusses the disadvantages of plastic products. To write a good summary, use your own words in presenting the main ideas of each paragraph in the same order as they appear within the passage. To write in your own words, think of appropriate synonyms. Do not use the same sentence constructions as those adopted by the author. Let us see how we could summarize the following sentence from the text. Furthermore, there was a lack of knowledge of just how many products would be made of plastic. Who would have thought that chewing gum, paper clips, light bulbs, and some so-called paper cups contained plastic? We could summarize this sentence as follows. People were oblivious to the number of products often made of plastic. Notice the use of active voice in the summarized version as compared to the author's use of passive voice in the original text. To write a good summary, use transition words to coherently and smoothly move from one idea to another. Examples include words such as moreover, in addition, first, besides, next, lastly, among others. Don't forget to reiterate the author's name or refer to the passage in order to remind the reader that the ideas are not yours. Use appropriate action verbs. For example, the author or the passage acknowledges, or the author or the passage illustrates. Remember to use your own words, but do not include your own ideas and interpretations, and make sure to be objective. Your aim is not to analyze the passage or to give opinions about ideas in the passage. Therefore, it is very important for you to differentiate between summarizing and analyzing. Pay attention to the length, tone, and purpose. An analysis develops a main idea with your personal insights compared to a summary which only reports the main ideas without your personal interpretation. You need to differentiate between summarizing and paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means using your own words and rearranging the text. Summarizing means shortening a text and capturing the core ideas only. How do you ensure that you are not only paraphrasing but also summarizing? If you only paraphrase, you won't be creating a shorter version of the text. You need to ensure that you are not compromising the original text. Remember to respect the word limit. Let me now read the two texts that you see on the screen. Text 1. there was much wealth to be derived from olive cultivation. For example, more than 5,000 years ago, olives grown in Crete may have been the source of the wealth of the mighty Minoan civilization, which was renowned for its unique art and stunning architecture. Olives are mentioned in ancient Greek literature as well as in some Greek myths. For instance, the goddess Athena won the patronage of an area of Greece by giving olives to the god Poseidon. This shows that olives featured in ancient writings. They also appear in the factual text written 2,300 years ago by the father of botany, Theophrastus. He wrote a marvelous account of how olive trees should be tended. Olive wood was used in ancient buildings to tie together outer and inner walls, giving them lasting endurance. As such, strong wood did not decay because of the weather. Text 2. Olive cultivation brought income for some civilizations more than 5,000 years ago, including the Minoan civilization, whose architecture and art were symbols of such opulence. Furthermore, ancient Greek literature and myths emphasized the popularity of olives through tales of gods and goddesses gifting olives to one another. Besides, factual texts written by Theophrastus, the father of botany, described ways of growing olive trees. Olive wood is known for its durability as evidenced by primitive edifices. What is the difference between the first text and the second text? Yes, you're right. Text 1 is an example of an unsummarized text, and text 2 is the summarized version. Notice that text 2 has been reduced to about half the size of text 1. The summary provides the gist of the text. It presents important information and discards details or examples. To summarize this text on olives, it is important to consider some WH questions. For example, a who or what question pertaining to the olive cultivation, a when question referring to the past, for example, 5,000 years ago. A where question might refer to the Minoan civilization, or to Greek literature and myths, or to factual texts, or to primitive edifices. These WH questions will help you address the key ideas in the text. If you really need to refer to the words used in the passage, it is imperative to use quotation marks. We could think of the structure of the summary in terms of the burger concept. The introduction is represented by the top bun. This is where you have to focus on the following WH questions. What is the passage about? Where does the action take place? When does it occur? Who is or are involved? Why does this happen? Just like a real burger, the body of the summary is represented by the juicy contents of the burger. It includes a recap of all the main ideas presented by the author in the original passage through transitional phrases. The body of the summary addresses the following questions. What are the main ideas presented? How are these ideas supported? Be careful not to make your opinion or give excessive examples. The concluding sentence should restate all the core ideas that are crucial for your readers to remember. Once you have written your summary, compare it to the original passage and ask yourself the following questions. Have you remained faithful to the original source? Can someone who has not read the original passage understand your summary? Have you used your own words as far as possible? Have you refrained from including your opinions? Are there grammatical errors? Dear learners, this lesson has looked into the features of a summary, the skills required to write a good summary, and the structure of a summary. I hope that you are now confident to write summaries on your own. Until we meet again, thank you. Goodbye.